Hey everyone, I did my first 10v10 with the full clan of 10 players showing up on the other side yesterday, and I wanted to kind of share my thought and some stuff with you guys. Number one, I really would like to see this map be an alternate for Battleground. When you go and you queue up for Battleground, instead of just getting the push the item map, it would be great to have this map as well so we can play, everyone can play and experience and try to learn ways in how you can make this a better experience, how you can try to win this with your clan. I personally, we went up against a very difficult clan. We went up a well-geared clan, and we were not able to succeed on overtaking from them. Um, but doesn't mean that others can't, right? There's I hear rumors out there that there are free-to-play players that are able to beat whales and whatnot. After the experience I had, I do realize that this is not really a map where you go in and you're just trying to get kills, right? The point is to try to capture the effigy and control it the most you can so you can get a win. With that said, let's take a look at the match so you guys can understand what went through. Um, the match was only about 4 minutes long. Just like in a regular battleground, you have this um, thing on your left that shows your current score. Blue is you, red is the enemy. The match starts immediately, like minute after the 8 o'clock p.m. once it opens. So you guys got to jump in there right away. Um, the strategy that we try to take here, and I'll explain it after the video is done for you guys, and why I chose the strategy. Um, didn't work out. And here's another reason why I say I wish we could do this as another map for the PvP or Battleground, so we can learn how to do it, so we can learn strategy, so we can try to figure it a way on how to win. The second the match starts, I try to run up to control the effigy. Notice one thing, the red dots, right? So when you do Battleground, you can see the red dots all over the screen where the enemies go. In this specific event, you only see the red dots if the enemies are close to you or another one of your team members, right? So as you can see, I can see the blue dots of my friendlies, but I don't see any enemies red dots at all. I only see these guys that are on top of me. Nobody have captured yet. We are just fighting each other, and this is just like when you try to activate the idol and you can't because somebody charges you while in the middle of an activation and it stops you. That's kind of like the strategy for here. I mean, I think the goal and the team that's going to win this will be the ones that collect that effigy idol tower, whatever you want to call, as soon as possible. And then you don't stand in it, you actually stand far away from it. Let an enemy person try to go up to it and try to recollect it again, and then you just charge that person and you prevent them from collecting it. I feel like that is the strategy approach on capturing it and preventing others from taking it from you. um as you capture it, it stays blue, it's your color, and once the enemy have it, becomes red. Once an enemy take it, it goes from blue to, I guess, half red because they're trying to collect, and you can actually see a round timer around it when the enemy is trying to capture it. I'm just running the enemy back and forth and trying to, one, prevent from dying, and two, trying to prevent them from actually capturing the effigy, the tower. Um, and it's, imagine it's the first time that you're jumping into here, and it's the first time that there's actual people that you can fight on the other side without strategy, without practice. It's it gets a little. Oh, yes, invisible. Look at this. This was another one too. Um, I'm just minding my own business, trying to run, get to the effigy, and I just get pulled back. I, an invisible crusader. Which then I wasn't even thinking at the moment. I was just kind of angry because I got invisibly dragged, and secondly, I was trying to go for this tower, but I didn't realize that this dude was gonna run all the way back and capture the only effigy tower that we had left. I mean, it was a loss either way. Um, Thought he was gonna charge me, so I tried to do the preemptive charging. I mean, they own all the towers. It's, it's just you capture it, you prevent them from taking it. The other thing is that like if you can't see that the enemies are coming towards you, like if you can see, I feel also it was like very quick for them to steal it. I feel like it's easier for you to steal somebody's tower than it is for you to capture it. That Crusader bouncing shield bouncing between the tower and yourself sucks. I have four whales, four winged players preventing me from trying to get to the tower. And the rest of the team is being spawn camped by the rest of their clan. So it's just like like this is a horrible experience if you're trying to look and as in the fun of it, right? Like how can you practice this other than doing more of it and to do this just once a week and either you're going to go up clan that one person is going to show up or you're going to go up a clan where everybody is completely stacked and you're going to lose, right? This is why I'm saying again, and I'm going to say it again and again, I really hope that this map in the near future can be secondary map that we can use or participate or choose or just be random, to be honest. It's so quick. This was done in 4 minutes. And it sucks. It's not really about the kills. It's about capturing. If you go in this with a mentality kill, 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 get a bunch of kills, 20-0 kills, like that's not going to give you the win. I mean, unless if you're sure killing and then the rest of your team is capturing the tower, that's one thing, but you gotta go for the towers, right? You gotta go for the effigies. Now, with that said, this is a strategy that we did. If we could do this more frequently, we could practice and see if it makes sense or not, or it doesn't. There's so many ways to do it. It depends what classes you have, depends what class you're going up against, it depends how your players play. It depends in a lot of scenarios, right? But what we try to do is, of course, the second you come out, you capture your own. What I try to do is I try to split up the team and putting some players going in the middle, some players going to the right and left. Kind of like how you do Rite of Exile, right? If you're doing Rite of Exile, in essence, you split your team, everybody kind of goes one route. Sometimes nobody goes to the middle, right? So like a lot of the times, nobody goes to the middle. You just have people that goes to the sides. And then after you get the sides, then people kind of like meet in the middle, right? Like that could be a strategy. If that's the case, most likely the enemy is going to capture their tower as they come out. And, there's a lot of the scenarios where the enemies go to the middle. Another way to do this would be, act similar to the Rite of Exile, where you have, your team goes to one side and your team goes rush to the middle, and then that way you kind of force the enemy see your dots on the map this way, which you can't, and that's the problem. And then the enemy will go for that, and most likely they will do this, right? Like if it was like if you look in a battleground scenario, you have the attacking and the defending team. Like here you kind of have that, but at the end of the day is the same. There's not really there is an attacking and a defending team, but there isn't a difference for the attacking and defending team. Both of them have a perfectly symmetrical map in both ways. So, um, it's kind of like very equal. But there's different ways to do it. Um, It's all gonna depend. It's not gonna be random. It's all gonna depend where the enemy goes. But you know, there's many scenarios that you can definitely do this. The difficult part is again, you can't see the red dots of the enemies. Like you don't know if there's an enemy here, enemy here. You don't know where the enemies are going because the red dots are non-visible in the map, right? So without having the red dots visible on the map, it becomes a little bit difficult for you to try to understand where they are and how to behave. I do hope that this could be something that they make it available that actually show the players on the map. This map is really fun. It's extremely long, the distance between one and the other. You do have a couple of routes in the middle that you can use for cutting, right? Like, for example, if you need to go to that one, you don't have to go this crazy route. If you happen to be going this way and you want to decide, you can do, you know, cut in to go back to the middle if you have to, or you can go straight across and go up this way. There's many ways that you can approach and utilize the map to your advantage, and it's very symmetrical on both sides. Besides that, you know, if you are the attacking team, you do have this run around that you have to go through before you get to this, where on the other side is more kind of like easier, but this really doesn't make a difference. I actually did use this to my advantage. There was a point in the map that I used that to be able to heal myself. Um, you know, as I'm getting completely ganked in here, there's a part. Let's go here. Like I'm trying to. It wasn't definitely wasn't that one. Let's take a look here. Right, so all these obstacles, they are obstacles, and you will not walk through them. Actually hid behind one of these stones to bandage. Um, So, you know, again, I wasn't even worried about killing. I didn't want to kill anybody. I just wanted to try to capture it and try to defend it. Um, and here we go. I was just hiding behind that. Even my player had to walk around it to be able to come around. Um, so I'm keeping this guy busy, and then he's capturing the target, which is this is good teamwork, right? When you have majority of your team players in one side and you only have one of the enemy, you can keep majority of your guys can keep the enemy busy while one player can sneak out and capture the target. The mentality that has to be imprinted in everybody's head is that don't worry about the killing. Whoever can go capture the target, right? Because the goal is to try to collect those effigies, those towers, and hold it for as long as you can, right? Um, So, you know, that's my take on the event. I do hope that this is something that we can practice more, that we can enjoy it. If you're on the Rite of Exile, you can use the same map for Rite of Exile, and Battleground is the same mechanics. Oh, here's another clan event like Rite of Exile. It'll be great for us to have this map into the Battleground. I know every single person have been asking for, you know, anybody who PvPs and enjoys the PvP in this game. Wish that we can have another map, another mechanic other than activating the idols and pushing the idols. Here it is. Let us play with it. You know, the map is, I think it's great. It's big. Um, it would be great to do this. It would be great to do this. I think the timing of this to be done in 4 minutes, if one team is extremely dogging on you, is a little bit too quick, right? If one team has all the towers, like if one team grabs 4 towers and you have one, you have no chance or opportunity to try to win or get it back. It's almost like you automatically have lost the match. It's like if you can't get 4 towers, or whoever gets to 4 towers first wins. Like that is a little bit unfair. It would be great if, you know, if the progression of the point getting system wasn't as quick, because then it gives other people the opportunity to try to win, to try to recapture those towers, right? So you lose 4 and if the whole team dies, you automatically lost the match. No, like it shouldn't be like that, right? Um, is it's a great idea, but I don't think it's has been perfected. perhaps, I don't know what else to say. What do you guys think? Have any one of you done this yet? What strategy do you use? You know, I've tried to run different scenarios where if your whole team goes to one side, then again you give them the opportunity that they can just get all four towers and kill you and destroy you, right? Because they can get that, they can get this, they can get this, and then from there they can shift it this way or go this way. So you can't just throw all your team in one side, especially if you are the underdog, especially if you don't have the resonance, right? You could try to split your teams two ways, and most likely this might be the most logic strategy versus trying to split your team three ways. Because if you split your team three ways and then they put majority of their team going on one side, then this side is going to completely demolish these guys, and then they're going to have two capture idols, and if they want they can push to spawn camp you and eventually capture this one, or they can, you know, force this side, and they know that the blue team is going to be weak because half of them already die from the bottom. um so, you know, the strategy is definitely going to be um the solution, right? And for us to build a strategy, for us to practice and actually enjoy it, we have to be able to do it more than once a week, and we have to be able to do it with people that are relatively in the same bracket, in the same, you know, combat range. Because when you go against, you know, 7k 7k people stacked of them, you're not going to have a fun experience. And I mean, not even they will have a fun experience, right? But it will be a great fun experience for anybody at any resonance range to fight with other people among their range in a battleground scenario, and it will give us something else to do. So I do hope to see this in the BG in the near future, and there are a few things that I would love to see getting refined. I would love to see the timing that it takes to capture to perhaps be a little bit shorter, perhaps the time that it takes to lose to perhaps be a little bit longer. I don't know. I would love to see the point system maybe be increased instead of just being 1500, maybe be a little bit more. Um, what do you guys? What else do you guys think? Right, 15 minutes is a good time. You don't want it to go too long. 15 minutes is actually a lot of time. But the speed that the team is getting, like the match just started and it's done so quick. Look what happens the second that they gather. So right now there are two, and you just focus on this, not the match itself. So they have three and they're about to capture a four, and look what happens to the score the moment that they gather the fourth one. Like, okay, this is moving at a decent pace. They just capture a fourth. Now he's just gonna, you know, and that becomes like right now they're getting their points at what is this? 6 points at 6 points per second per like tick. They're getting 6 points per tick, while we're getting 2 points per tick. Right, the 6 points per tick, like when you least notice in 10 seconds, it goes a long way. Oh man, they have three, we got zero, we lost one for the moment. And I mean that point just flies. So I don't know. To be a fun event, if they want us to have a fun event, I think a little bit of balancing might be required. If they think it's perfect, then you know that's a different topic. Um, what do you guys think? You know, like where do you see this? Do you think that this is a good PvP mechanic? Should this be something that we do more in the frequent? Should this be available to do in the battleground as one of the options? I don't think that this should be an option that a player should choose. I think it should be a random when you queue up for BG. Either you get pushed the item mechanic or this, so then people doesn't just choose this and nobody else does the other one. But let me Let me know what you guys think. Have a good one.